Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. Every week we have a different special guest give us an imaginary tour through their fantasy house. It is like MTV Cribs with a little bit of weirdness and cartoony unlimitless. Is it unlimitless? No, limitless imagination and technology. It's the world's only NSFW real estate podcast. It's not safe for work. It's adults being creative, being free. Sometimes it's really peachy and clean, and sometimes people get nasty dirty. So just be aware of that before you play this at your local temple or your local church or at your job, your corporate job where they don't allow you to think freely or speak freely. Every episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky. I'm your Southern California realtor. There's so much going on right now, and you might be thinking, I kind of want to buy a house because interest rates are low. Is now a good time? Well, send me a message. Send me a message to fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com or go directly to my Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Why not? Just send me a message. I'd be happy to do a Zoom consultation with you. Or if you have 2 cups and a string that's long enough, we can do it that way. As long as it's distance and safe, we can do a great consultation, and I'd be happy to. I love talking real estate, and I just love just meeting new people and connecting. So go ahead and hit me up if you're interested. This episode, I'm excited. It's one of my road dogs in the comedy or music world. When you say road dog, I mean someone that you've traveled with. You get to know people really well. So if you know someone for a year, but you know them for a year and you've been road dogging together, it's almost like you've been knowing them for 3 or 4 or 5 years because you've been in cars together, you trust them, you've been sometimes in some sticky or weird situations, outrunning crazy people or having to be strategic and do problem solving on the road. So you really get to know people, and they become close friends for life. And this guy is one of them. Sean McBride is here today. He's a great comedian, a road dog, and I'm excited to hear about his fantasy house. So let's move into it. Let's move into it now. In the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do it.
Won't you take it all around over to your fantasy house? Your host with the most experience in your fantasy house. Get all the money for expensive construction. The only way is your imagination.
I think it's a more reflection of just like where society is, really, where, people prefer knowing that it's real. That's why reality TV is so popular. It's like, I think people just like, I can't believe these people actually exist. Like, that's a real person. It's not, like they've always forever had that willingness to accept something scripted or produced. But I mean, yeah, like it's easy to produce. It's cheap. And I think people are just in awe on the fact that these people exist, even though like so much of that bullshit is actually produced.
Well, I was going to say, like, I don't know if that's the best example because reality TV is so fake. And if
I was just saying like, but like I was saying it as a reflection of society. Part of the reason, like, I know it is fake, but like it's so popular
like wrestling
because people are like, that's real. Like that's just an actual person being a basket case.
The first reality show is wrestling. I mean, it's just like, you guys know it's fake, right? And everyone's like, yeah, more. It feels kind of real. It's like porn. You're just like, yeah, I know I'm not getting later now, but it's high resolution and it's POV. It feels good enough. Don't change it,
dude.
It's like
I loved wrestling back in the day. Do you still watch wrestling?
My relationship with wrestling was always that my good friends were always into wrestling. So whether when I was a teenager, some of my best friends were into wrestling. So I would watch it with them when we were just eating and getting stoned. I'd be like, yeah, this is what we're watching. I'm stoned. I don't care anyways. I'm just having fun with my friends. And then when I got into comedy, all my friends in comedy were into wrestling. So I've just been around it, and I've never been crazy about it myself. But I've also never been anti-wrestling. I've loved like half of the wrestling celebrities. Anyone that I've ever known or known of that knew other wrestlers, they've always been like stellar people. And they're big in it's like the porn stars in wrestling they're all into comedy. So it's like we all intermesh and like enjoy each other's like.
Oh, it's just like it's another performance art in another way,
Exactly.
It is like that. I loved wrestling back in the day. Was a huge fan as a kid, then had a little bit of a lull, and then when they had the WWE Attitude Era, which was like that was when I was in high school.
Okay.
And I actually had my freshman year and sophomore year of high school. I did, because remember how like they would always do like, they just broke through the Spanish announcers table. Like
Oh yeah.
that was like a theme forever. Like it was such like, when you think about it now, it was like, man, they were constantly punching down on Mexicans. Always. Like it was like that Spanish announcers table was going to break
so
every time.
funny.
You just didn't know when it was going to happen.
Oh my god.
And I did for my final for Spanish, my freshman year, I did a Spanish wrestling video. Like we had to like do, you know how like you could always like, you know, what is your final? You had to do something. And so like, I was always like one of those, like I loved making videos and stuff. And I did a Spanish wrestling because it was just like, it was giving us an excuse to smash the table. And then the next year, then my sophomore year Spanish, I wanted to do it again. And I did, but like, it was like word had spread about the first one. So it was like, we did it like the follow-up, like the sequel was like, you know, almost like did it like it was a continuation, the way they do lucha libre wrestling, where it's a soap opera and it continues. And we did it like, I dressed up my younger brother like the Undertaker, and he was like probably 7 years old at the time, and we had him beat this big ass football player on the football team that everybody loved. Like, so it was like people went nuts over it, where it was just like a child, because we turned my basement at my house that I grew up in into a wrestling ring, because we had like the posts, like the pillars that would keep the house up.
Oh yeah.
I put rubber bands around them
way.
and wrapped it, and was able to get it. I couldn't do it all, but I was able to make a corner. Yeah. And so if you shot from the angle where like you saw it looked like,
as we call it in the film world, you cheated it.
I cheated it. And we did something like, I had when I was like back, but this is all pre 9/11. I would go out to Kansas City, Missouri to visit family. Yeah. On like, because I was like, I was born in Kansas City, even though I grew up in Massachusetts. I was born in KC. And so I would always go back for 2 weeks every year for like over summer to see my cousins, see all my family, all that shit. And I would have my cousin Paul drive me across the state border to Kansas, where fireworks were legal. And then I would buy fireworks, and then I would always bring a bag with me that was empty that I would like put the fireworks in. And then on travel day back to Massachusetts, when everybody would be flustered and I knew my parents would be all over the fucking place and there'd be a million bags, I'd just throw this other bag in there filled with fireworks and check it onto the plane. And every year without fail, I would save up my fucking allowance. And buy all, like literally go, I'd have like $200 or $300 and I'd spend it all on fireworks. And then I go back to Massachusetts, where fireworks were very, very much illegal. I mean, you had to go states away at the time to be able to acquire fireworks. And I was the kid that had fireworks. Oh yeah. So I had a shit ton of fucking fireworks. And remember how Monday Night Raw used to start, and it was always like, oh yeah, you know? And it was like, they'd have like all the fireworks going off in the pyrotechnics and everybody going fucking crazy. Would you actually light off fireworks while it was happening? So I set off fucking sparklers. I put sparklers in the turnbuckles. And then we made a WWE sign, because it was just like the scribbles. Remember, it was like WWF, and it was like they had gone where it was like the block letters to a scribble, and that was like the Attitude Era. Yeah, and just like, here you go. And so I had hand drawn it on a you know, one of those like big ass white you know, like the poster board size paper. Yeah. And put that on the wall, because I couldn't just paint on the walls down in the basement, but I had to have the WWE logo. And so we were playing on my stereo. I had recorded the Raw song off the computer and then blasted it, and then we like did it. It was like, all right, we got one fucking take. Nobody fucked this up. And I mean, I'm with actual pyrotechnics, just kids with actual pyrotechnics, and we did it. And I didn't tell my mom, because I knew once we did it, she was going to be fucking furious, because I had all these kids over say we're like shooting like the follow-up to my masterpiece film at that, which had been the Spanish wrestling video 1. Yeah. My follow-up, the big sequel that everyone was anticipating. And I knew we'd only get one take at it. So we did it. And I mean, dude, we shot this fucking thing. And I mean, you just see like, you know, and I had like the camera coming down the steps as like you're hearing the music blasting, the lights are off, and there's sparklers fucking going. And so you see the ring ropes and everything up, sparklers in the fucking house, smoke everywhere. bring the camera up to the WWE sign, like as the song's coming to its crest and you see the smoke past you, like going by the side. It was just a fucking beautiful shot. And then all of a sudden you hear from upstairs, Sean McBride. And it was like before there was no digital editing. So you couldn't like go back and do it. So like on the cut, I had to like rewind the fucking tape because like that was where I had to cut. Like it was like, all right, time to fucking face the music. But I knew I had gotten the shot and we were good because I was controlling the camera. And so my mom was like, what the fuck? My buddy Ken Ingalls, he was having an asthma attack. We had to open up the storm hatch. Fucking smoke is pouring out of the basement.
Oh my god!
Because I wanted it to be big, so I took like an entire pack of not fireworks, but sparklers, and put them in there. Like so, it's like 10 sparklers going at once on both these turnbuckles. It's 3 turnbuckles. Boom, boom, boom. But I had it like coming around, and then all that shit. My mom's like, "What the fuck are you doing down there?" My buddy's literally puking because he's inhaled so much smoke out in the backyard.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, what? I'm like, don't worry. Like, that's it. That's it. We had to like open up all the doors in the house, like let it air out. And then once the smoke calmed down enough, then we went back in and we filmed all the matches. And I mean, it was literally like there'd be pinfalls. Uno, dos, oh! There was a lot of that. And then we had the ceiling tiles. You know how those always will break easy?
Yeah.
We would set those up on we set it up for like the announcer's table where the 2 guys in suits are sitting there, and they've got like those chalk ceiling tiles with 2 tables like holding it up, and they're sitting with 2 tables behind it. But it was all just because that was the one thing.
You just had 2 kids. You had 2 kids sitting there in suits, like kids
that were
my
suits. They were the Spanish announcers.
Oh, it's so funny.
And so then they were the 2 guys that I knew that spoke Spanish the best. My buddy Dave and this kid Mike Mitchell. And I was like,
both of them sound like that doesn't say much.
I knew
Dave and Mitchell.
But they were better, and they were buddies of mine, and it was just like I just needed them saying like sentences, and then like I was going to be the one that got credit for producing the whole thing, and it was just me trying to like essentially lie my way through the fact that I had learned no Spanish whatsoever the entire thing. And we did it, and it was like this is like one of the fucked up remember how they used to have like those wrestling dolls like that you could wrestle wrestling buddies.
Yeah,
we had one where we dressed it up like Owen Hart, who had like the wrestler that had fell from the ceiling and like died, and like
I remember
one of the matches we strapped one of the wrestling buddies to the ceiling and dropped it down, and we're like did like a parody
was it Owen Hart or was it Bret Hart? No,
Owen Hart was the one that died.
That passed away. Yeah,
one that died. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But like, which was fucking awful. Like one of those, like, what were we like that's in terrible taste. But what, wanted to just do something fucking crazy and insane and epic. And
so do you still have it on tape?
My family went through.
Going, dude. I don't like where this answer's going.
It's somewhere on but it's like one of those. It was that in between era where it was like before mini DV cams, after VHS cams. Yeah, where there was like several different types.
That's when we did stuff too. My family too. Like those weird little tapes.
And it's like we moved, and like I moved out to California, and then like my mom passed away, and like my dad moved in with and so like just a lot of shit got lost over the years.
Oh yeah, it happens.
And so like it might be somewhere, but I mean I haven't seen the video in 20 fucking years. And it was like one of the best things I ever did in high school was the Spanish wrestling video 1 and 2.
Oh, good. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, dude. That's so rad. That's so cool.
I hadn't thought about that in a while.
And that inspired. I mean, you were already a filmmaker at that age, and now, I mean, what are you doing? Obviously, besides stand up, just so our guests know what you're up to. Like, what's been going on? Because you've been into filmmaking since I've known you too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've really kicked up the producing side a lot more. I mean, I would go road dogging it for fucking months on end back in the day. Like, 'cause you and I started out as open micers. Yeah. Like when we were like just fucking on the beat, like grinding and just like hitting. And I mean, Patton Oswalt talked about it one time where he was like that time in his life where you're an open micer, and like you can never go back to that. Like it's just this time where it's like it's all about comedy. You don't really know what you're doing. You're with a bunch of other people that don't really know what they're doing, but like you see the people you're hanging out with, and a lot of times you're basing it off of like they're funnier than these other fucking animals that are up here going out. And so it's like you get a little, and it's a fucking beautiful time to be a comedian, like before, you know, business gets involved and all this other shit.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, like just, I was kind of painting the picture since you and I go like way, 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 way back, man. I mean, I remember your Westwood Brew Co. room and how much fun that
Brutal
was.
Brew Co. Oh man, dude, that place
And it was like surfing choppy waves where everyone, like, it's like you were out there and it's like it would come in waves. And I mean, it was comic to comic. You might have, you know, a minute or like a 10-minute period where a bunch of like 15 really cool kids from UCLA come in and they really dig the show and they're having a blast. And then literally, and you might get to play like the, you know, it's almost like a relay race, right? Where it's just like, all right, like this person went up and got him, and like you pass it off to the next one and they got him. And then it's like the next third person goes up and they eat shit. That fucking whole crew that was great fucking left. And now it's like 8 or 9 people that are just other comics and maybe one weird person. There's like rooms like and I don't live near the Valley. You know how it's like back in the day, like you could literally shoot across Los Angeles, hit a mic in Orange County. Like when you don't have responsibilities and other things going on, other than comedy, like you could
$25 on gas and you're going around all these rooms. They're all disappointing. You're depressed. It's 3 a.m. Me and Angela Bauer.
What am I even doing?
We used to eat a burrito each. We used to eat a burrito each and then buy a torta for us to split. It was so depressing. It would be at 3 a.m. The only win you could have, the only thing you had control over.
The only thing that would have been more depressing would have been doing it by yourself. You know,
true.
And to be doing it with Angelo of all people, and to like look back on it, like when you don't, like going back to what you were saying about, you know, like you can spot somebody that's crazy now and like, no, like immediately like red flags start going up. It's like, do not engage. But like back then it's just like, you're open and talking and you're talking. And then it's like, you'll be 5 minutes into a conversation. And then it's just like, wait a second. This person totally doesn't have their shit together, like at all. They're an absolute disaster. And here I am, and I've befriended them. I've reached out to them. And as many times as that kind of shit, that attitude doesn't work, you know, 1 time out of 100, 99 times out of 100, it's not going to work. And you're like, what the fuck am I even doing? But the 1 time out of 100, you having that attitude is what leads you to meeting someone like a Angelo Bowers. And like, what a fucking, you know, and it's just like, you have to. And like, that's like the beauty of it. Like, I don't know when I totally met Angelo out at open mics, as many comics did, like just going, and it's just like one of those, he was a stop on a fucking dime when you heard him talking onto a microphone and you had to go listen.
You went back into the most awful. We gotta go back in real quick. Angelo's on stage. Dear Lord. So I just and you'd be like, I gotta go back inside real quick.
Yeah,
I don't want to miss this.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I mean, he was so fucking good. And like but like also like I think back to that time in my life and like the people that stand out the most, you know, of which you're one of them. Angelo, definitely. Josh Adam Myers, Chris Dunham. Dunham was my fucking he was my Angelo at that time. Like just the dude I was inseparable with.
He was your road dog and you just went everywhere with him.
Just went, you like hit everything, like just kind of knew like, all right, like where am I going? Who's going to be there? You know, like you would like how, you know, it's like all the people that I hated in high school that would play that kind of shit. It's like, that's how I'd be like in comedy, like, whoa, there's a lot of fucking crazy psychopaths that I'm going to see tonight. But like, I want to make sure there's at least someone that I can talk to.
Totally.
Like,
that's how life is in general, right? Like, it's crazy. It's like you need to have community. It's an essential part of our lives. It's community. However it is, if it's just one other person or if it's 100 people at your church or your temple, it's essential to us for our happiness to not just be alone
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have to connect with people. Be like, I love you. I love hearing what you have to say, and I love through the good times and bad. Like it's so important. I feel like that's you know sometimes it's a detriment to us. It's why we're such tribal morons so often.
Yeah.
But it's also it's just an essential ingredient like for happiness. And there's very few people that can live without that. And the ones that can live without that, you have to wonder like, are they still even happy? Like I know some hermits.
Yeah.
Are you happy though being a hermit? Like you seem like you're just going insane, but they seem like they're like just get away from me like a rattlesnake. And you're like okay. But for most people, like, I have to be together and connect.
Oh, totally. Part of the reason like I love this studio is it forced me to get my buddy Cole to come over and us to do something, and we made something, and it was so funny. Great. And it's something we're both in line with, which is just like let's just fucking absolutely skewer these fuckers. And have some fun with it and get to hang out with a friend at the same time. Like if you and I ever did something like that would be great. Like when I worked at the NFL Network from 06 to 09 when I first came to LA, and my favorite part about that job was I liked so many people there. And so like when I would go to work, it was like I was hanging out with friends. And that was how I was like at the TV station I worked at when I was in college. It was like just a bunch of my friends that like we used to make fucking high-end videos and have great editing systems. And it's like I got out to LA and somewhere along the way lost all that, and I want to bring it back, and I want to make a studio and a place where comics can come in, and there's a green screen, and there's a camera, and there's producers and DPs and talented people that can take their ideas out of their head and immediately make it happen, and then get it out there and just fucking build stuff, and that freedom of expression that isn't anywhere else. Like that's what I want. I know all things comedy and like other places are doing stuff, but I mean, what I'm talking about, I don't think anybody's really doing that. So
I think it's great though. And even if they are doing stuff, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't just do what you feel you're excited about, man. And if you want to go over and do that, then those, you know, I hope all things comedy continues to just be an institution. You'll go over there, but like make your own stuff with your voice and your brand is part of the excitement right now, right?
Totally, man. Totally. That's my favorite part is just, doing it and then getting to work. And that, I want to get to a point where it's like I can go to an even bigger studio and have more comics coming through and just have a place where it's like good conversation. People are enjoying each other's company and then making something and then turning around. And while we're driving to the gig, somebody's cutting it up and it's going on. You know what I mean?
On the laptop on Final Cut while you're driving?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, I mean, or somebody, some fucking young, hungry kid that wants to learn,
How do you see yourself when you're like, like let's say you're old and you're like 90 years old. How do you see yourself? Like, what have you accomplished and like, what are you doing?
When I'm 90, I want to have like kind of moved past, like I've done, all my ideas of, not all of you never want to stop having ideas, but like, just kind of like filled that need of like, all right, I've made movies, I've made TV shows, I've worked with so many people where it's like nobody is there, like just to be at that point where you can literally walk into any room in the world and they're going to put you up. Like, I want that, like, to be just like a comedy OG, like Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks, man. Like, did you see that documentary, the two of them? Like, just, I mean, they're almost pushing 100. I can't remember what streaming platform it was on, but I mean, it was just the two of them, like, would meet up every night, have dinner, like, watch TV, like, watch the shows, judge it, talk about it, like, still fucking funny and with it. And, like, it's like, that's just, like, his comedy buddy from the very fucking beginning. And I loved that. It was one of the most inspiring documentaries I've seen in all of this. And I've always loved that aspect of it. Like, no, there's no stage in the world that would ever tell Mel Brooks or Carl Reiner they couldn't go up and be funny. I mean, any place would be, oh my God, yes, please go do it. Like George Burns, I remember like he was like 100 years old and still fucking doing it, man. Yeah. Still doing it. Like I got into a habit, like early on, I always would perform on my birthday. Like, I don't like not being booked on my birthday. My first mentor in comedy, Vic Dunlop, who passed away in 2011.
I remember Vic.
Yeah, who he got his start on the Richard Pryor show with Robin Williams and John Witherspoon. They're all fucking chilling up in heaven, man. But the last show we did together was on my birthday in 2011, and he went into a coma a few days after that, and then passed away probably 10, 11 days after that.
Oh.
And I just, I've always just loved performing, but like that, like it meant a lot to me, like that I got to like on my birthday, because my mother had passed away in 2007. And so like my birthday was always like, it's a hard day for me, just kind of like always thinking about my mom. It's not the same not having her there. And so it's like, I always liked having that distraction. And it was like, like I almost felt like my mom bought him a little bit more time. Because like if he had died like before my birthday like that, like who knows what kind of like emotional damage I could have done. But like I had one of the best shows I ever had in my entire career up until that point on my birthday, saying happy birthday to someone else, that it was their birthday in the crowd. Because I didn't make a big, no one knew that it was my birthday. Vic didn't even realize that it was my birthday because I just didn't say anything. I was just like normal, regular show. And it was like very surreal singing happy birthday to someone else on my birthday. But like I was killing, like I was literally giving this like big woman a lap dance for her birthday. And the place was going fucking ape shit. And Vic, like, that night I dropped him off, and literally the last thing he said to me, because I didn't talk to him. Like it was like a couple days, like I usually would talk like when it was like, hey, we got a gig, we got this. But it was like, I think that was a Saturday, and then that Tuesday he went in for a heart procedure, and he slipped into a coma after they put him under anesthesia. And the last thing he said to me was like, Sean, you're getting so damn smooth up there. Like right as he was like, at the end of the night, like just like one of those, like gave me one, and I was like, thanks, man. Like I love you, brother. And like that was it, And I had been a mess not having that, and that's how I've always, I don't know, I've always. That was the last gig with him was on my birthday, which is crazy. This year, though, of course, with COVID, no shows. I actually had to celebrate my birthday,
Forced.
Which is weird.
Oh, dude, let's go through your fantasy house, huh?
Let's do that.
So there's a drone flying over your fantasy house. What are we seeing? What's the location and what's it look like?
It's in Los Angeles, and it's a regular. It's a regular house. I like where I'm at now, but the thing about my house is I have underground tunnels connecting me to my other friends' houses. That's where the big money investment is going to be, is access to all my friends underground as well as LAX. That was the biggest expenditure in the house, was my own tunnel to LAX.
Oh, dude, you're so Elon Musk.
Well, dude, it's like the amount of time wasted that could be spent creating while we're sitting in traffic. It's just unacceptable.
It's insane, right?
Uh-huh. Very much so. Very much so. So yeah, it's a regular house, and everything's connected underground. But I want to have it where, also underground, like, that's where like you kind of have, the fun things built in. Like I want to have a big ass fun room that, where it's like you have it where it's like, it's big enough and it's built, it's almost like this giant basement, like a finished basement. Yeah. I had a finished basement in my house as a kid, and and I told you about it with the Spanish wrestling video. Yeah. There was the back hatchway. And what I loved about that was people always had access, and they could get in there. And then in the basement, it was like we had, the gaming system. There was a ping pong table, like pop a shot, like all that.
I want to hear like the Weezer version of this. In my basement, I feel fine. Oh,
exactly.
We got everything to do.
And so I wanted to have a custom-made beer pong table in there, and then unlimited cardboard standouts of Harvey Weinstein and Peyton Manning.
Why them?
That way... So wrapping up. Yeah, Harvey, Giant, my buddy, producing partner Michael's just walking by, heading back down to the studio. Yeah. So yeah, I want to have cardboard cutouts of Harvey Weinstein and Peyton Manning, like just that can be thrown away and interchanged. That way, when you're playing beer pong, if you miss a shot, you can punch Harvey Weinstein or Peyton Manning in the face.
That's hilarious.
Right?
Two of the most awful human beings of all time. I don't know much about Peyton Manning, but I've heard Harvey Weinstein's a real POS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Peyton Manning's he's fucking annoying. It's more that. Like, I think I'm also going to have it where, like, maybe even allow it so it's like one of those, printers that's set up for it so you can pick the person you hate the most.
That's hilarious.
Like if you hate Tom Brady, like, you can get a Tom Brady cardboard cutout and just knock its fucking head off. It's
Hilarious.
therapeutic, and it's not actually violent,
I like how you can either beat up a Super Bowl cheater or a rapist. Justice at Sean's house, the McBride basement. All right, keep going. Keep telling us.
So the basement also has a regularly updated shoe room with new shoes, all various sizes. That way, whenever anybody comes over, they get to leave with a new pair of sneakers.
Oh, wow.
Something fresh, something sick. Yeah, regularly updated, only the best shit. And everybody gets to go home with something, all sizes, whatever.
What do you use? What are you going to do if you're showing us the machine? Which ones are you going to get?
What shoes am I going to get?
Yeah.
I'm going to get remember the old Chris Rock Penny Hardaways?
No, Chris Rock had shoes?
No. So they had Chris Rock played Lil Penny Hardaway in the commercials.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I told you that.
Yeah, and they had the best shoes ever. The pennies, man. They were the best. And so that would be my shoe. I would have unlimited pennies. I'd be rocking those.
Great.
I like the Adidas Sambas, the shell tops, the Samoas, a lot of that Adidas
you do
stuff.
Like those Adidas. You're always wearing those.
I wear more New Balance now.
But you used to. You used to have those goofy Adidas. I used
to wear black Adidas Samoa. Like, I think they're Samoas is what they're called. But I wore
the cookies
into the ground. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. And also, I mean, everything always stocked up. Any type of food, candy, all the diabetes shit you want, including year-round Girl Scout cookies, will be stocked up in the kitchen.
It'll be freezer, please.
Like all the screeners, all that, any movie you want, it can be screened down there. But the big thing is, I want to also have like a indoor, like lazy river, kind of like on the perimeter. Remember how the tunnels in Ghostbusters 2?
Yeah.
Were like slime. Okay, so take out all that slime, but you have a flowing, clean water.
Yeah,
clean water. No like salt water or anything, like fresh water going underneath, and it's a lazy river kind of hammering them, and it's lit, and there's lights, so it's not like super scary, but like, yeah, you can go in there with the kids, just take a nice cool, like, especially after a long frustrating day, you just hit the lazy river that runs underneath the LA River all across town and then comes back. And
what does the surroundings look like though if you're underground? Like, what kind of tunnels are you going through?
Well, so I mean, the tunnels are, like I said, very similar to the tunnels you saw in Ghostbusters 2 and Ninja Turtles 2.
The turn of the century New York sewer, New York subway.
It's that type of thing where it's like it's workable. You can walk around like there's space.
Okay.
It's not like you're tunneling like your Andy Dufresne's in Shawshank Redemption.
Thank you.
Like, it's not that. It's
Thanks for painting that picture for us.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
It's not like you're, because then, people that are claustrophobic, they can't come down. And I don't want to be dealing with that. People freaking out. I want them to come down to the compound and be comfortable.
Totally. All right. Well, take us to like a kitchen now. I definitely want to see kitchen and bathrooms. Always excited about that.
See, I mean, that's like that stuff like cars and kitchens and bathrooms. Like, to me, all that's important is like the necessities. I don't really care about look. Like, that's, like that to me is like, my fiance Amy, like, those are decisions that I would just bequeath to her.
Yeah.
And I would answer every question that she asked me with what I thought she wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't engage her in a discussion. I would just sign off on whatever she fucking wanted, just to not have to deal with it. The basement and the lazy river, those are more the projects that I would want to take on. So to me, it's like what I like about, I like, it's, a regular bathroom. You got enough space to put all your shit all over the place.
Yeah.
you're not cramped. I like the marble floors that aren't, you aren't going to slip, but kind of feel like you aren't just like in a bathtub. I do want to have a jacuzzi that is the size of a pool. Like you can actually swim in a jacuzzi. And that's something that I would want in the bathroom, because when I was a little kid, before we moved to Massachusetts, we lived in Omaha, and our next door neighbors had this huge fucking jacuzzi. And what I remembered was that was one of my first memories as a kid was we could swim in the jacuzzi. Like I remember like jumping off one side, hitting it, and then like having to paddle a couple times to get to the other side, and thinking, holy shit, I'm swimming in 95 to 100 degree water right now.
Oh, it sounds so great.
And I've always wanted to recreate that. And there's been a couple casinos that the Inn of the Mountain Gods in Mescalero, New Mexico, has a big ass hot tub jacuzzi that's like built out of stone. One of those ones where it's like you can swim, and you can essentially swim in it. And whenever I'm working one of those gigs, I always will like go underwater and like just swim side to side. And that in my head, I feel like I'm 3 years old swimming in that jacuzzi.
That's so great.
In Omaha, Nebraska again. And so that would be important, but to be able to recreate a big enough size so adults could enjoy it.
All right. So take us to what's another room that we got to see?
I would say the bedroom.
Yeah.
The bedroom, it's a big, comfortable bed for me and my lady, but also like when our cat jumps in, and in the event we have a kid one day, it's like everybody, if they wanted to cuddle together, we could, but also like if everybody just needed like their own space and have a little, like you could just all be in there, like a big, very comfortable bed. And then I've always liked the idea. I mean, I like falling asleep. I always like pass out on the couch at night, but I love doing that in the TV. And so when you have these big ass, I rather than have like the screener on the wall, I like the HD TV projectors. Like I like
full projection,
almost like everybody can be sitting up with their back rested against the bed. And I mean, it's almost like a mini movie theater right there in the room. So you have that, but I always like the electronic type setups where it's like there could be like a nice painting that like comes down from the wall and like takes its place, like when you aren't using the projector, but then it like lifts.
What would be on that painting? What would it look like? What would you have?
So my fiance's father is a painter, and a lot of the paintings we have in our place are his, and I love it. He's an amazing abstract artist, and so I think it would be one of his like big epic ones. Like he's got like, I don't know what the exact name. It's like, to me, it's like a triple header where it's like three things, but it's like a big ass piece.
Oh, it's awesome.
All three sections.
Is there a main color to it, or
he does a bunch of different colors. But it's a lot of his stuff. And I mean, I would like our house, like it's a lot of his pieces all around the house. And I would just stick with that. And I would have even more of it.
That's awesome.
Just all over the house. But yeah, I would have like he's got this epic one that's 3, and I would have that descend from the wraps and then go back up. That would be pretty cool and a nice tribute to him. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like it's a cool setup. To me, it's always everything's about the people. Like you can have everything in the world, but if you can't have the people there to enjoy it, like what's the fucking point?
You're all about community. I know, dude. We've talked about it, and it's like it just comes through in everything. Is there anything else in your house that we got to see? Because I mean, this house is awesome.
I mean, so long as I got a stocked kitchen with plenty of Girl Scout cookies and the people that I love, I'm good, man. That's a hell of a house, right?
I love it, dude. It's great. I will not turn down eating Thin Mints while looking at abstract art, dude. So
and don't you worry, Shefsky. I am gonna build a tunnel out to San Dimas. So it's gonna take you a little while to get out there.
Oh, dude, San Dimas tunnels rule.
Yeah, San Dimas football rules. Have you seen Joe Red yet, by the way?
I have not seen the new one yet. I'm excited to see it, though. I need to. Actually, I have a really good friend and his wife who are special effects artists. They actually worked on it and built the robot.
You got to get them on the pod, man.
I know I'm working on it. Well, she's due. She's pregnant and due this month, and like they're extremely busy.
No
with all the
excuse.
stuff going on. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to see her at Fazzy House. So thank you. #blessed guest. I'm so glad I got to see the inside of this place. Where can people find you?
You can find me across all social media platforms except for TikTok and Snapchat because I'm not a child. At Sean S. McBride, SEANS McBride. And then also check out my other pages at The Laugh Bureau and at The Cosmic Comedy Show.
Awesome. Thank you so much for making the time to do this, dude.
I appreciate being on here. I love you, Shefsky.
I love you too, man. My road dog. It's freaking awesome getting to see you right now.
It's always nice getting to see you, brother. I look forward to doing it in the flesh, and I look forward to the next time I get to tell someone, let Shefsky be Shefsky.
What was that from? Where did you say that? I love that.
When I was like, somebody wanted a script because I was putting together like a commercial shoot, and so I booked a bunch of comics, and they wanted a script. And I was like, I don't want to tell, like, I'm booking people, like, based off, I know they're going to be funny, and I have them do something. He's like, well, I think we should really see something. And I snapped at him. I was just like, let Shefsky be Shefsky. Like, as I was like,
oh, yeah, dude.
People, I'm like, you got to let Shefsky be Shefsky.
I totally forgot. Dude, yeah. Dude, so fun. That was, I remember that gig, too.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
To be an actor. To be an actor. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out this episode. Go ahead and give Sean a follow and check out his good stuff and keep up with him, man. If this is your first time listening, hit the subscribe button. Give us a review. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many stars you want? Whatever you think we deserve. This is America.
8 stars.
You decide. 8 stars. Give us 8 stars, guys. And whatever stars. It would mean the world to me if you took the time to give us a review. And if you're a regular listener and you're already subscribed, hit the share button. Send this episode to somebody. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everyone, stay safe, be silly, have fun.